Hi, good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning to everybody.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, give us few seconds. We'll start pretty soon.
Sure.
Good morning or good night, wherever your location is, right?
Yeah, definitely. I would like everyone to make their video on so that we can see everyone. At least the recording part will show how many people we are here, all those things. It will be good thing if you don't mind to share your face. So right now we have 42, 43 people in the call. I'm expecting maybe another 10. This is 11:48. So I think we should get started.
Oh yeah, can I say one thing before we start?
Yeah.
Okay, just for the purposes of assigning everyone to the breakout rooms, can I request everyone to change their screen name to their full name so that we can easily assign everyone to the breakout rooms?
Now on my screen, you will see Anshika Mishra's name because
So if you have something like that, can you please change it?
I have to log out and then to log in again. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
No, I think you can right click and rename it.
Yeah, I think you can rename it without logging.
Yeah, Aravinda, you can rename. You can be.
Yes, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So whatever name you have given on the registration, if you do that one, it would be easy for her to change the name. So breakout room, somehow we were not successful in pre-assigning, even though we have the pre-assigned seat, everything was there, but we are finding that it is not working.
Okay now? Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
So for that reason, we are asking if you have the same name, so then we can find out, okay, this person registered and this person is assigned to particular room. We can put the person into that room. So when we start breaking out, it will be successfully doing that one. So I have asked my daughter, say Susrita Haripriya, she will be basically helping me some of the activities behind the scene, and so we are going to get the room set up, everything as expected. I'm hoping that it would be successful this time. So let's see how we can do. So I think it's high time for us to start. It is 11:52. Thank you everyone for joining the call. This is great right now. So a lot of help coming from my daughter. So I'm thinking it would be good today. So let me start sharing. Today's session is second session. First session was introduction, and this session will have real thing to discuss. And today's topic is Agile Foundation. So we are doing Agile Foundation today, and I want to little bit give a hint here. So even though today's session is Agile Foundation, so we'll go very high level that you might think that okay, I'm going to talk about all those principle values, and today it might start, but before that I have a lot of things to talk, and I would suggest that we should think that okay, how it is connected with other foundation courses. So it will be only part of the Agile Foundation, and next session might be Lean Foundation, maybe Scrum, depending on how I am progressing. So these are all connected. So you'll find that at the end of all 12 sessions, 6 weeks, you will find that everything is connected and you have the broad knowledge about what we are talking here. So this is little bit about me. So we talked last time. I don't want to go over everything. So this is me. I'm the trainer here, and you can find all those details in my website. And this is about my company. We talked about this one last time. We provide safe role-based certification trainings. So if you have any requirement, you can reach out to me. We can talk about that one. And these are the certifications we provide. And here last time we mentioned or I mentioned that okay, this particular forum is not about me coming and teaching you guys. So my sole purpose is to build a community where we need to learn together and grow together, and I am here to facilitate that process. And through this facilitation process, you will find out different opportunity to basically find out information or way you can bring your expertise, your skill set to the whole community, and how we can learn together. So this is the main theme of our program. So let's see how we can drive this one through. So regarding schedule, so it will be every week. It will be Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours each session, and we'll continue until July 26th. That's the plan. And let's see how successfully we are able to navigate and able to complete this one. And anything we are doing here, we need to make sure we have our remote working agreement understood by everyone, and we are obeying this one and making sure that we follow and get a good result out of it. So respect, definitely respect is most important thing. We have to respect each one's and how we can work together. And any kind of questions coming during the presentation, so I would request not to ask there immediately. Instead, you need to basically go to parking lot. Last time we mentioned about the parking lot, which is there in Google Drive, but we have changed that approach. We got the feedback from you guys saying that to use Trello. We have set up that one. So my daughter will be explaining little bit about parking lot. So I'm going to introduce little bit about her, and then let her introduce also. Today is basically my daughter Susrita Haripriya. She is going to help on some of the coordination activity, and next week I might need someone to volunteer on the activity because she is not available. But let's see how she is helping us, and we are working together. So anytime any need is there, please raise your hand or tell us how you can help. So that would be great. So Susrita, please go ahead, and I'm going to stop the share. Go ahead and share about parking lot and how you are going to help, and just introduce little bit about yourself, what you are doing currently, and then proceed from there.
Yeah, sure. Okay, right now I'm sharing my screen. First, I'll introduce myself. So, hi, I'm Shashrita Haripriya. Currently, I just graduated from high school. I was a senior this year, but next year I'm going to be a freshman at the University of Pittsburgh. So, let me just explain how to use Trello. So, by now you should know what team you're in. If you don't know, then check the team roster, and next to your name, it should say what team you're in. And once you find that, then go to the invite link for Trello that my dad sent through email, and then go to your team, and then you'll see a screen like this, and it shows your team boards. Right now I'm going to go to Team Bravo just for the purpose of demonstration, so find what team you're on and go to that one. And to use the parking lot, you're going to see a section that says Team Boards, and under that there's a thing called Parking Lot. So I'm going to click on that. And in here, there's different tabs at the top, and you're going to click Join Board, and that will allow you to add cards. So there's 3 sections. There's one that says Open Questions Team. There's one that says Open Questions Instructor, and there's one that says Questions Answered. So when you want to ask a question, then you're going to click Add a Card in the Open Questions Team section. So you're going to write your question in this. It can be short. It doesn't have to be too long. And then you'll press add card. And so within your team, you'll discuss those questions. And then if someone in your team is able to answer your question, then that card will get moved over to questions answered. And if none of your team
Susrita, let me pause a little bit here on your side and a
Okay.
little bit clarification. So you go ahead and enter your cards, whatever questions you have. So everyone is entering their questions while the presentation is going on. So no question discussed that time. So there will be an activity section where we'll be saying that now is the time to go ahead and look into the questions. So everyone will come. So we'll break out everyone to their respective teams, and then you'll come here and see that what are the questions. So everyone is entering. So you'll have bunch of questions here, and we'll be basically doing a team facilitation. Means okay, in the team we have Scrum Master, we have PO, and team member, as we discussed last time. So whoever not aware of that understanding, team member can help each other to understand that one. And then what the first purpose is, you have bunch of questions. So now you look into those and find out which one is the top priority question or the highest importance in the question, right? So move that one top and bottom, and arrange that one in a way you find that the top one is the highest important question, and then let the team discuss about the first question with each other, and find out if there is a knowledge within the group that can be shared, and question can be answered. So I feel that most of the questions, because the team, the way we have arranged, lot of skill set, lot of knowledge level people have currently, they will be able to answer most of the question. But if there is a question not able to, you are not able to answer within the team, then move that basically card to the open question instructor, which Susrita mentioned, right? And whatever discussion done, then you move to the question answer. Now Susrita, proceed what you are telling. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to go over that. So I think you pretty much covered it. So if you do have a question for the instructor, like Dad said, then when you move it here, later those questions will be moved to the general parking lot for the global teams, in the global teams parking lot. So then they will be answered there.
So I would request, so maybe Susita, can you create one ticket and show how to move that ticket? So everybody needs to learn this one, so that when your turn is done, then all the questions that are not answered, then you can move that one to the global training program board. So yeah.
Yeah, so here I added a sample question to the open questions team. So say my team member was able to answer it, then we would move it to questions answered. If a team member wasn't able to answer it, then instead of moving it to questions answered, we'd move it to open questions instructor. And then we'd click the edit button here, and then we'd click move, and then you select the destination, so you click board, and then you find a tab that says Team Global Training Program, and you put it in the parking lot there. So I'll move it there.
Any question at this point, anyone? We can definitely answer.
Hi, this is Rashmi. I have one question. When we say we will move, who are we? Is this any member in the team, or there is somebody particularly assigned to govern this task?
Okay, so that's a good question, Rashmi. So, I would say the team is self-organized at this point. So people mostly know what is self-organization, but if a person is very new to the concept, so people can help on that one. So basically, it is your team, and everybody is in the same power. Even though we have given some responsibility to some people as Scrum Master and Product Owner. So Scrum Master is a person who is basically facilitating the process. It doesn't mean that okay, that person is fully responsible to take it, but since the product master is there, either he or she is doing that activity, or someone from the team doing. So it is all about team collaboration. Team needs to work together, find out, immediately discuss, hey, who is going to help? So somebody say, hey, I'm going to move all these. Okay, that's it, done, right? So there is no question there. Okay, hey, who is going to do? No, I don't know. All those questions. So let's find out immediately what needs to be done and how we need to do it.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Any other question?
Yes, Vishnu. So how long do we wait before moving a card to the global open questions board?
So when we do the activity, you will be given certain time period. So it is everything is time boxed. So we'll be telling that, okay, hey, when you are going and you are in the discussion mode, you have 10 minutes, for example, right? So within 10 minutes, whatever questions answered, whatever question not answered, those which are there in the open question instructor column, those items you need to move before basically completing. So when 10 minutes over, so I'll give 1 minute, so you can basically move those cards to the board.
Thank
Clear?
you, Vishnu. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, I think we should move forward. So Sida, if you can give me the share access, then I can continue here.
Yep, you should be able to share now.
Okay, excellent. So we are back to our remote working agreement. Next is one conversation at a time. I think we are doing good. Mute when not talking. That is very good at this point. Assume positive intent, be present, and respect the time boxes. So every activity will have time box. So we will be going through that one. So next is basically attendance, right? So anyone who joined the call, we have to respect their presence and make sure that, okay, whoever is attending the call, we are supplying the certificate based on their attendance. So please go ahead and Susita is going to give the link in the chat box. So please go ahead and mark your attendance right now. So she's going to give the link. So we'll take about 30 seconds to complete the attendance and then move forward. So Sudha, tell when you have presented the chat.
Yeah, I sent the link in the chat. It says team attendance roster, so it should be there.
So any new member, please find your name. It will be in the alphabetic order, or is it in alphabetic order? Susrita?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's in alphabetical order, so you should be
Okay,
able
so
to
find your
that
name and mark attendance on June 20th column.
Vishnu,
Yes.
I feel you should put it directly as a next point in the remote working agreement itself, saying that attendance to be marked with everyone, rather than every time reminding someone.
That is a very good suggestion, Rohit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think by this time people might have already completed the attendance thing. So let's move forward. So this is the course outline which you saw in last session for everyone, and for the Agile Foundation, these are the things. As I mentioned little while ago, I am not going to cover immediately. I am not going to jump into this principle and mindset, all those things immediately. There will be a lot of things beforehand. You need to understand how we need to basically start this one, right? So let's see. So this is where basically I want to pause a little bit about this Agile Foundation and explain a little bit background and why we are here, right? So few things: why we are here, who are all impacted, what we are going to see, what are the problems, challenges we are facing, and how we are going to solve this, right? So we are here individually we talked about our goals and why we are here in the last session, but now I'm going to make it little bit broaden, and we need to find out why we are all here, right? Is there a problem or challenge that we are facing today, day to day, every day? What is going on, right? So everybody is trying to do something different because they are facing some problem or challenge in life, in the environment we are in, right? So we are experiencing those, and we need to find out where we are facing those problems. We are facing problem at home, at outside, at work, any environment you are going, like you are facing right now. We have the biggest challenge of COVID-19 is basically shaking everyone, right? So healthcare people, they are mostly affected. We have challenge working from home and remotely providing the training, all those things, right? Physically, I was making our training physically, but I'm not able to. So I have a challenge also. So all these challenges, right? Basically, we need to find out what are the problem with. We have problem with people. We have problem with process tools, technologies, and we have problem with environment. And uh, basically, we need to see that how we can cope ourselves within those, right? So we have new technology, right? Like we have different phones, right? Okay, Apple has phone with multiple cameras. Samsung is having multiple cameras, and they are competing each other, right? Okay, so you never know, like how many cameras they will be bringing into smartphone tomorrow, right? So we have drones, we have 3D printing, we have robots, many things, right? Everything is happening, everything is digital, right? And digital disruption is happening right now everywhere, affecting everyone, right? So so now if you see that, okay, all the thing we are impacted with, and the businesses we are basically surrounded with, they are all kind of software business. Okay, so even healthcare, right? Okay, so they have to cope up with softwares, right? Okay, otherwise they cannot manage their clients, their vendors, suppliers, all those, right? So everything is behind the scenes, software is connected, and we need to see how we are dealing with those, how innovation is coming, and how we are part of those innovations. So this is where our life is basically challenged, and the entire world, digital world, is highly volatile, complex, and uncertain. Nobody can certainly say that, okay, tomorrow will be like this. There is no certainty, and people are challenged with okay, with COVID, so many millions and millions people are jobless, right? So those kind of things. So when we have those kind of scenarios, right, we need to be ready with everything, right? Since the change is happening constantly, we have to cope up with the change. If you do not cope up with the change, then our existence will not be there. So we have to do something, right? So we have to recognize what problem we have at this point, and how we need to cope up with those, right? So if you see those basic things, right? Okay, why people are challenged with, right? So businesses, individuals, all are challenged because either they have not changed their way of doing things, right? When I say way of doing things, means the traditional way of things, right? So businesses doing traditional delivery process, they are struggling how they can compete with the digital era, right? And individual, when either we are at home, either we are at work, right? If we are doing the same traditional way what we were doing before 10 years, and we have not thought of how to change this one, then our life will be miserable very soon. So we need to think, we need to find out what best way we need to navigate ourselves within our life, how we need to navigate within the whole environment, within work, with work process, right? We need to see all those and see that how we add value and how basically we are working together, right? So that's the most challenging thing, and so we need to find out the problem, right? If we cannot recognize our problem, then we cannot solve anything, right? So this one says businesses are struggling to build big system. So every company, they are trying to basically go with a lot of transformation, and they are trying to build the big systems, and they are challenged also, right? So I have given a slide here. This one looks like a little bit maybe familiar with you. So mostly people who are working in software, they will be able to recognize some of the facts. People who are not working on software also, they will be finding similar kind of thing, right? Whether you are in pharma business, whether you are in any other business that is not IT related, right? So you will find mostly like you have challenge with environment, challenge with people, challenge with the process you are following, right? So so this is just a glimpse you can take and relate yourself basically where you are and how you are challenged with, right? So we'll have some exercise very soon on this one, but take few seconds and see and think yourself where you are and what are the problems. Recognize the problem yourself, right? It talks about Agile doesn't fit our large, complex and heavily regulated solution. Somebody saying late delivery, poor morale. So this is like within the team things are happening this way. Team level Agile and ad hoc Agile processes are not enough. Technical debt not growing. This is specific to IT kind of thing. Underestimated dependencies. Quality is low. Problem discovered too late. All those kind of stuff, right? So how do we solve the problem, right? So we are talking about traditional delivery method, and now we are going to talk about Agile, right? So people might say that, okay, why Agile, right? So just to put in a simple word, agility is not an option or a thing just for teams. It is a business imperative, right? So we need to see that how best we fit within the business imperative, right? So we need to figure out ourselves. If we are not fitting within the organization's transformation, and if we are not transforming ourselves, if our mindset is not changing, and we are still delivering the same traditional way, then people will throw you out of the bus kind of thing, right? So we have to see how to solve. We are part of the business and we are part of the whole ecosystem, as I mentioned, right? So since we are part of the ecosystem and we are part of the business, so we have the responsibility. We have the responsibility to do something, right? So this is where we come, right? We need to find out how we need to make ourselves available to those scenarios, right? So now what we need to do? So it's basically time for us to change, right? So when you think of change, immediately what it comes to everyone's mind? Stop. Because why? We think, okay, oh, change, somebody is talking about change. Why? I'm doing whatever I'm doing and my life is easy and everything should be smooth. Why should I go for change, right? Change is very difficult, right? It's very hard, right? And basically why we do not go for change? Because we are not ready to challenge ourselves to make the change, right? Because we don't see the value of hand, right? Okay, we think that, okay, everything is going good. Why should I make change, right? You do not see the overall picture. Maybe it has not come to you to understand that, okay, this is the right time for you to change, right? So we fear to challenge the status quo, right? So that is where we basically stop ourselves, saying that no, I'm not ready to go for this one, right? But we have to do something, right? So change is not easy. Change, so because we are used to our way of doing things, the same thing we have been doing years and years, right? Okay, so it is not easy for anyone, even me, right? It's not easy for anyone to make the change so easily, right? So let's look at this video a little bit. I'm going to play.
Hey, if you don't know where your next client is coming from,
I'm going to
come over
skip
here and
this
I'll show you
ad
something.
soon.
This is my app.
Okay, so I want to hear from everyone here, maybe one or two words about what did you learn from this video.
Basically, change is difficult and it's
Okay.
always not easy, and you have to look at all the aspects.
Okay, so why change is difficult?
Unless you plan it, right? So if it comes all of a sudden, it might be difficult.
Okay,
Because our brain is set to perform in a particular way.
right.
It's a cultural behavior that has been getting adapted already.
Okay, and another key thing it said three things. The second one, it was saying knowledge is not equal to understanding. That is something we'll talk about, but anyone who can explain that one?
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I believe that the brain is acting like a circuit, and when you exercise a behavior, you're kind of hardwiring that circuit to easily act in that behavior. And when you try to change that behavior, it doesn't. It's not an easy process. You're legitimately changing how the brain is structured physically.
So this is Arvind. I'll give a very simple example from my experience, which I think probably will understand. Knowledge and understanding both are entirely different things. Coming from R&D in pharmaceuticals, a person can say, yeah, the tablet is comprising of paracetamol and this. But you cannot design a product if you do not have the understanding how to design it. Knowledge is different, that what the tablet is composed of. But the understanding of how to design a tablet to give the desired effect, that's important. So just by knowledge doesn't mean that you have the understanding. My thinking is both are required to be together to excel. So if you have a good knowledge and if you have a right understanding, you can excel.
Very nice. Okay, so let's move forward. I'm going to share my screen again here. Okay, so let's talk about the bottom line here. So change, when we're talking about change, right? So if we do not make any change, there is no growth. And change is inevitable, but growth is optional, right? So change is not merely necessary to life, it is life. Some of the thing I just want to give here. So there is nothing constant in this world except change. So change is only basically constant. And see this picture, right? So the picture shows that straight path, right? So our life, if you compare with our life, do you think anyone's life like this straight, right? You have a goal and you have set up your goal from your childhood, and you are going to lead that life straight like this. Never, right? It's never possible like this, right? So our life is more like this, right? It's a curvy path, lot of bends, and we navigate through our life with this path, right? So if you follow the path nicely and follow the bend, it will be good. If you are not following the path, what will happen, right? So if you are not ready to change, if you are not ready to bend yourself, then life will be like this, riskier, right? So what will happen, you never know. So If you don't bend, you will meet your end. So that's basically the thing, right? So that means we have to bend ourselves. We have to understand the current scenario, current challenges, current problems we have, and we have to navigate accordingly, right? What problem you have right now may be tomorrow different, right? But we have to change ourselves and make sure that how we are navigating through the current scenario, right? So we have to be flexible. So when I talk about agile, I'll be basically talking about the thing that we need to, first thing it comes to our mind is basically, if we are being agile, how flexible we are, right? So with that flexibility, then you think what needs to be done, right? What is the way? So I am flexible, but what I need to do, how I need to approach myself, right? So those things we'll be talking. Endless conversation about change is a barrier. So we talk about ends, people say, okay, that's good, okay, we need to change, we need to do this one, all those conversation, right? Until you commit yourself, then it's not going to do anything for you. So you need to take action, right? Act, right? So here one thing I want to mention, right? Commitment not only in the workplace, it is on every place, even this training, right? If you are truly committed, if you want to truly learn something within the group, you are basically coming here committed, you are sharing your knowledge, you are getting knowledge, all those things, then you are basically growing, right? If you are not committed, like so for example, right, okay, you are not serious about it, so you are thinking this is something like, oh, somebody is here and he's going to present something, I am coming and just watch this one and go. This is not commitment, this is just like I'm involved little bit, right? So that is a story about chicken and pig, right? Most people know about this story, but I'll tell quickly here chicken and pig story, or maybe I'll ask someone who knows chicken and pig story in this group. Can someone help me or help the group understand what is commitment through the story chicken and pig? Anyone? Any volunteer? Anyone knows what the chicken and pig and they were making restaurant? I want to see that how we are basically coordinating ourselves and doing together. It should not be like one person talking.
Sorry, I don't know that story, and I don't think anybody else does.
Okay, sounds good. So chicken and stories, quick story. So this is all about commitment, right? So chicken and pig, they were friends, and one day they said that, hey, we need to open a restaurant, right? Okay, so they were agreed and they said, okay, let's do, right? Okay, so they sat together and they said, okay, let's start with our menu. So the chicken said, okay, let me decide what the menu should be. The menu should be, okay, all the items, all those items she started saying that, okay, we need to have ham curry, we have this ham, this, all those related to ham, and we need to have omelette, we need to have everything with the egg, right? The pig said, okay, sorry, this is not going to work. What? Oh, you are involved, I am committed. So that means if we do the ham curry, so that means pig will be committed, right? If we do the omelette, then it's just an egg, nothing happening to the chicken. Chicken is happy, right? So that is all about commitment and involved, right? So if you are truly committed, that means you are basically to the complete process, and you are sweating towards, and you are working with the team, you are basically available all the time, and you are basically putting your effort in a way that it is truly necessary, right? It's not about, okay, organization leadership is there, leaders will be coming saying that, hey, we need to do this, and definitely this is very good, wow, you guys are great, okay, you go ahead and do it, and I'll see. So that is not commitment, true commitment. So that's just involved, right? Okay, but the true leader, they will be coming and working you guys, and you basically they will be so involved and making sure whatever effort they are putting, the person itself is putting the help and doing the servant leadership. We'll talk about the servant leadership a little bit, and They are basically, leaders are there. Even within the team, all are basically committed to the end goal. What goal we have, we are marching towards, right? So that is what needed, right? Any kind of change is necessary. Everybody's commitment is necessary, not just involvement. So we need to understand this one. Do little bit Google and find out the difference between commitment and involvement. So now who needs to change, right? So is it like, okay, oh, my team members need to change, I am the leader, I don't need to change, okay, the way I was doing is fine for me, right? I don't need to change. So it's not that way. So everyone needs to change, all of us, right? So how are we going to do it, right? So we are going to change, bottom line, but how, right? So we need to decide how, right? So there are various ways, right? What is the best way to do, right? So how? Okay, I'll flip the coin, and if head comes, then I'll do this way. If tail comes, I'll do the other way, right? Is that going to work? No, definitely not, right? So what is the best way? Oh, I'm going to ask my manager or my superiors, and okay, I'll decide, right? Okay, there are multiple ways, but is that going to work, right? People with different priorities, people with different importance, criticality, right? They will be telling that, hey, this is important, go this way. The other person with different priority, he will say, no, 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 you need to do this way, right? Okay, so you are confused, you are basically having such a tough time, and you will see that within organization, and we are facing all the time this kind of situation. Different people with different priorities, they are coming to you and saying that let's do this way, right? You are confused. So but it is up to you. You are the person needs to decide basically how to move forward, and if you cannot handle this one, then you are in trouble. So you need to find out the best way how to handle. So best way is basically kind of this, right? So you have systems, you have people, you have things, information, right? You need to basically work with those information, work with people, work with the people in a way that you respect others, guide people, and you get guidance. You basically collaborative way. Our learning also exactly same thing. So once you start thinking that way, right? Individually you cannot do anything, right? It is all about team, TEAM. Together everyone achieves more, right? So that team mentality. So find out how you can achieve that one through that one, right? So when we do this one, there are a lot of things happening, right? So it's not just the team, right? Okay, there are a lot of things. So when we decide, our decisions are basically based on many things. So first thing is the current situation, right? We cannot think of the past or future very 10 years down the line, this is going to come and I am going to do. So if we are doing that one, then you are not agile. Agile is all about right now. Right now, what is the situation and how I can navigate myself with that current situation, right? So that's most important. And when we are in this situation, what are the problems we have in hand, right? We are not talking about like problems which I am assuming. No, we have right now, we have certain problem. No assumption, right? If there are too much of assumption, then we need to explore through that one and find out. We have to have clarity about those problems, and we need to validate those problems right away and make sure that whatever problems we are trying to basically handle, it is clearly understood by individual, clearly understood by team, clearly understood by the organization. So we are clearly understanding the vision of the organization, clearly understanding how we need to navigate that one. So through the decision process. So when we are navigating through, definitely we are looking into economic value, right? Okay, we are not taking something that doesn't give any value, right? So one of the criteria is basically we need to evaluate the value of what we are going to do. So that is where Agile comes into picture. It's a value delivery. It's not that somebody came and said that, hey, you need to do this one, right? So you just jumped into it without understanding what value does it give, right? So you have to clearly understand. You think that, oh, I'm a team member, I don't care, right? My manager came and said that do this one, I'm doing it blindly, right? Okay, so that is where Agile fails, right? people, team members, without understanding what value it gives, why they are going to do this one, what is the purpose, right? Understanding from the top, the vision, the purpose, and how it is connected to the overall goal. You have to understand that one and figure it out what value it gives, right? So there are different ways to find out those value, right? You need to understand that one. And cost of delay. So this is one of the important factor within Agile, right? And many people fail to recognize this one and they fail the whole boat, right? Okay, so they cannot understand and they fail. They say, hey, Agile is not working, right? So cost of delay. Cost of delay is all about understanding if we have multiple opportunities. If I do not take one of the opportunity right now, and if I delay this opportunity to be like 1 month or a year, right? What is the cost involved, right? What I am losing, right? So this is all about basically competition with market and how all those, right? If I do not, if I am from Apple, right? If I am developing a phone, new phone, right? If I delay a particular feature to customers for 1 year, then what I am basically losing? What is the cost, right? Means I'm not getting the business benefit, right? So that cost we need to calculate, and we have to decide that among different options, which one is basically having highest cost of delay, and then how much effort we have, how much resources we have, and based on that one, how I can navigate. So those decision needs to be properly done. So we have exercises, not now but later. You will see that we'll be talking about cost of delay and how to calculate that one, all those things. Competitive advantage. Just now I mentioned about Apple and Samsung, maybe, right? We are in the competitive advantage, basically market, right? We are, each company is competing with others, right? For example, Zoom, right? Zoom gave free call, right? Immediately Google had to make Google Meet free. It's a competition, right? They are not trying to, basically they are not willing to lose customers, right? So competition is so much among the world, right? Anything happening, you will see that, okay, a lot of things happening. Geophone, right? They gave completely like people 100 rupees, you can do n number of call, video call, this and all those data, 100 GB, all those. Later they reduced that, but initially to attract people, they got those things, right? Amazon, they started with selling books. Now they are into so many things, right? They are competing with the whole world, right? And people are trying to basically find out a way how they can compete with Amazon, and there are big companies, Google, all those, right? So we have to find out, so how we can compete ourselves. What are the different innovative ideas we can bring, right? Idea comes from people, right? So we have ideas, only thing we have to think little bit and find out ways to innovate ourselves, right? So so that is where basically decision comes into picture, right? So and the last bullet is risk, right? So everything we are talking about, risk is involved everywhere, right? And we need to find out how much appetite we have to take the risk of going for a specific idea, right? So this is where will be basically decision part comes, right? All these things, right? We talk about economic value, cost of delay, risk, and competitive advantage, right? And the current scenario. With all these, then you decide what to do. And with Agile, you will be able to find out what is the best way to handle. So now, we have done little bit talk here, and it is for us to do little bit activity, and I'm going to explain little bit about the activity, and then we'll go ahead. Susrita is going to coordinate little bit, but this is what we saw this picture, right? We saw this picture about the problem, current scenarios. We have challenge, right? We are here from different background, people from IT, people from non-IT, and we have created team, and we have mixed kind of people within the team, Some people are working, some people are not working, some people are graduate even not started working, right? They're from college. Some people are in college also, right? So but everybody is facing problem, everybody challenged with things, right? So what I want to do this exercise basically, Susita is going to explain, but basically you need to start thinking about those challenges what you are facing, and let's put those information on the board and then see that how we can basically collaborate ourselves and find out where we are and how we can solve our problem. So Susita, you want to, I'm going to stop the share. I'm sorry. So let me hold on. Let me explain that page 1 second. I missed.
Okay, should I give back the share?
Yeah. Sorry about that one. So I was about to explain. Okay, forget about it. Sorry. So she's going to do the little bit exercise with you guys. But so basically you will be. So let me ask Susita. So how is the breakout room?
It's mostly good. I mean, there are some people who haven't joined, so some of the teams only have 1 or 2 people, but most teams have at least 5. There are a couple people that haven't renamed themselves, so I don't know how to assign them. So if you haven't renamed your name to the full name that you used with registration, could you please do that so that I can assign you to the right breakout room?
So how many people you think still there?
People who haven't been assigned yet, I think 7, or actually 6.
So I noticed that some people have joined without registration. So people who have joined to this meeting without registration, they are welcome to listen this one. But unfortunately, we will not be able to handle the teams without registration. And at this point, the class is full, and there is no way we can admit you guys into that. So sorry about that one, but you can definitely listen to this conversation. So that is there. So let's see. Can you? Okay. So let me explain about this one. Then you can share the breakout room and see how many, and we'll figure it out. So.
Vishnu, this is Nila. I logged in, but it is showing, oops, the invitation link for this team isn't valid anymore. I'm inside Trello, but I'm getting an error. So I clicked on the link that was on the chart window.
Okay, so we'll figure out about that one. But I'm talking about the team breakout in Zoom, so that should be okay. So let's talk about it. So when we go to our team, first thing is, okay, we have to see that how we can work together, right? So first thing is comes into mind because people have not introduced within themselves within the team. So first thing is do a team introduction for 2 minutes max, and then join the Trello board. Whoever has problem, we can fix it. But to join the Trello board for problem and challenges, she's going to explain how. Or she has already shown one, so it should be okay. Enter only one problem or challenge that you are facing in your current environment. So you can enter maybe more than one, but what I want to restrict here, don't try to enter something that is not very important. So if you think that this is the most important problem or most important challenge or the highest challenge I have, then put that one there. So you can use the card and just enter, right? So once you have those information, then discuss within the team, right? So putting the challenge maybe 2 minutes or something you can take, and then start discussing within the team what are those challenges, and rank them also in the order of criticality, right? So discuss with the team, rank it, and then after that we'll be basically bringing everyone to the main room, and we'll see that what information we got. So from each team I would ask some volunteer to share what you have learned from your team, right? So I'll be randomly asking people from the team. Let's do this one and see how it is giving value to us. Okay, so I'm going to
Vishnu, one doubt. So we are supposed to access this problems slash challenges board, right?
Yes, so she's going to show that one. Hold on.
Yep.
So Susita, can you share?
Okay, can everyone see the screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So basically, I have all the teams here, but obviously you will only have your team. So when you're in your team, you'll see the team boards, and one of them should say problems/challenges. So you're going to click on that one, and then you're going to click join board. So that allows you to add the cards. So there's different sections in here. So there's one section that says all challenges. There's one section that says category 1, and it goes all the way up through category 4, and there's a miscellaneous section. So what you're gonna do, give me 1 second, it went back. So under all challenges, you're gonna add a card, and then you're going to write, like my dad said, one problem that you feel that you're facing. So everyone from the team is going to enter their problems, and then you'll discuss with your team, and you'll categorize them into different categories. So you come up with, you can rename the categories. So obviously right now they say category 1, 2, 3, 4, but based on what problems you see in your team, you're going to rename them. So you can say like intrapersonal or environmental. Like based on that, you can say different things, and then you can organize the cards under that.
That's very good. And if you want to add more category, you can definitely do. But I think okay, this should be okay. So because we have put miscellaneous or other. So if you find that okay, there are a few items which it doesn't fit really into any of them, so you can basically put into miscellaneous.
A quick question. So for like the problems or challenges that we'll be writing, will you be giving us a scenario or just like challenge? Like, what do you mean by challenges we're facing, like in their current workplace or just in general?
So you saw the slide where I had a lot of problems or challenges people had entered, right? So similar to that one. Okay, so if you are in work or in college also, like you have challenge with your professor maybe, right? The teacher gives me this kind of problem, right? Okay, or you have challenge at home while doing a homework. Okay, you are facing this kind of problem. So what is the biggest problem you are facing at this point, right? Right now we are facing, I am facing a lot of challenge with the remote session, for example, right? Okay, so that's a problem, right? So I don't need to write a history, but if you start putting 3 to 4 words that represent what you are having, and then when you start discussing, then you'll be telling people exactly this is what happening and this is the challenge, right? So I would request everyone to basically have the discussion little bit short. So think what you need to talk and then discuss with the team, right? Is that something that you are looking for, Lippy?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, sure. And I think people are putting some question or something. So I want to give everyone another hint that okay, any kind of questions coming, please go ahead and put on the parking lot. Okay, so you have parking lot, and right now the exercise we are doing is problem and challenge. You have 10 minutes, and the first 2 minutes basically do the team introduction. After team introduction, start writing your challenge, maybe another 2 minutes, and rest 6 minutes you are discussing with the team, right? So the more time you basically sorry, less time you take in the first two activity, then the rest of the time you can basically handle with the discussion. Then we'll come out to the main room, and then we'll discuss as the whole group what basically you don't need to discuss about all the problems. So from your team represent 1 or 2 challenge, and this is the highest priority or critical item that we think that we should know, right? So that kind of thing, right? So we are not going to discuss all 100 or 200 here. right? This is all about how to do prioritization. So this is a technique I am giving, so you will slowly understand. So this is agile way of doing things, how we prioritize ourselves, find out what we need to handle with. So we have so many problems in the world, right? We are not going to handle everything, so we have to handle only the top priority and what basically gives value, right? If you think through that one, then that would be the best one, right? So quick question, anyone? 30 seconds, I can answer.
Vishnu, when you say like you discuss with your team, is it like we are going to drop from this call and there will be a separate call, or is it like in the chat
No,
only?
no. So we have the Zoom breakout. So when we do the breakout, everyone will be going to their team automatically, and you will see that you have a small group, and within that small group you are there. So we have to find out if only 6 or 7 people are not there assigned, pre-assigned. So those people will have little bit problem, but majority of the group already assigned to the room. When we do the breakout, you will automatically go.
Thank you.
And you will discuss there. Okay. So now let's do the breakout. Susita, you want to do the breakout?
Yeah, I'll stop sharing and then I'll break everyone out.
Okay.
Okay, give me just 1 minute. Let me just sort out the last couple people. See if I can sort anyone else out before I break everyone out.
Okay, that's good. So meanwhile, anyone having any question, we can discuss. Everyone clear about the parking lot? Anyone having challenge using the parking lot? The parking lot will be used every time, all sessions. So anytime you have question, when I am delivering my presentation, that time parking lot is the only way you need to basically go and put your question, and later we'll be reviewing those. So parking lot, or okay, somebody was trying to tell something.
Okay, so I'm about to open up the breakout rooms. So just a quick note before I do that, Team Bravo only has 1 member and Team Foxtrot only has 2, but the rest of them have at least 4. So if you don't see that many people in your breakout room, it might just be because the other members haven't joined today, so don't worry about it.
We are back to main room.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think many people are back now, right?
So now I want to ask anyone in this team, right? I want to ask how was the conversation or collaboration within the team? What challenges you faced, and was it good, or I know I joined a few teams, and some teams they were struggling a little bit. There are questions, but that's perfect. In anything you do, if there is a change, you will have a lot of struggle, but at the end you will find that things are working out very nice, and you will have perfect rhythm. So before I say anything, I want to hear from
Yeah, I can start, right? So when we joined our team, we saw like not many people, all the people were able to join the Trello. That's where we had trouble. Then 2 of us were able to see. Other 2 are still trying to figure out how to join. That's one thing. Then we were able to put few questions for our discussion, and we were able to successfully move one of them to the parking lot. And yeah, that's where we are right now when we joined the main session. Yeah.
From Alpha.
So hold on 1 second. Sorry.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
So that was from Team Golf. Yeah.
Yeah, so you are able to successfully move that one to parking lot. These items are not supposed to be moved to parking lot. These are just problem. This is not a question from your side. So that's fine. So that's perfect. Anything we do new, there will be confusion. So that's
Correct.
perfect.
Yeah, we're
So
also trying to understand how we can do better. We also don't know
Yeah.
full details yet.
And
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good. So
team golf. Yeah, team golf again. I mean, we also discussed the problems that we. I mean, there are two
I'm
problems.
sorry. I'm sorry. So, sorry, I want to pause a little bit here. So, I want whoever is talking, I want that person to share to whole group and show the board what are the problems and why you have chosen a particular one and what problem. Can you talk about that one? I want to see that people are able to share their screen.
I can share my screen if that's what, right?
Yes. So and talk about one or two challenges.
Okay. Let me share my screen first. Let me know if you guys see my screen.
Yes, we can.
And
So,
initially we have, I mean, we may not have done it properly yet, but I'm just showing what we did. Yeah. So we started with problem and challenges. And we tried to categorize those challenges under process, operation, or general, whatever we think appropriate. And so we are still not sure the difference between problem, challenges, and parking lot. That's one of the concern, right? So we don't know yet which should be going to parking lot and which should be staying in this challenges area.
okay, that's good. So let me stop you there and answer that question quickly because that's something I have seen people are having challenge, right? So difference between parking lot and this particular one. Parking lot is always there for 6 weeks and that's a common place where if you have any question when I am delivering my presentation, then come to parking lot and put the item in the parking lot and then you can, when time is given to the team to discuss about the questions, then you can basically do the discussion and clarify yourself within the team. So that is parking lot. But this problem and challenges is one-time activity, and I am trying to understand overall how people are challenged at this point. Overall, at home or at work, and if it is at work, what kind of problem they are facing. This is just to get a little bit idea about overall challenges people are having, right? Okay, so people are having issue with people, all those. So those are not questions. Those are basically the challenges. Questions means you have a question, individual question. Oh, you don't understand agile, or the topic I'm covering about principle, a particular principle you don't understand. Then you can ask, hey, what is this? You talked about this one. So what is that, right? So I don't understand. So that is question. Question goes to parking lot, but this is one-time activity.
Okay.
Okay. So can you talk about at least one item, the highest priority or highest the biggest challenge you are having?
Yeah, I think we spoke about this one. User story made out of scope in middle of sprint, which has been added to the current sprint. So that's what we discuss among us. Where let's say, for example, one of the items in the current sprint has been decided.
Okay, we are having some communication problem.
Yeah, we lost audio.
Okay, so that's fine. So I heard what is this particular challenge mostly. This is a classical problem everywhere, any industry, IT industry you go that, okay, so not even IT, non-IT also, the same thing, right? Requirements come to the team in the middle of something, right? So that thing happens. So let's do random, right? Juliet team. Anyone wants to share? Juliet?
Hello?
Yes.
Bina and I were discussing, as you mentioned, changing requirements last minute and how to manage those situations.
If you don't mind, can you share your screen, please?
Sure thing. 1 second. So changing of requirements in the middle of the sprint. That's the challenge we were discussing. I don't know, Vina, you want to jump in and paint a little bit more of the context, but essentially what was happening is that they had two week-long sprints. They operated in a safe framework. And once they're done developing and testing the item of work that they have to deliver for that release, at the very last moment, business wants to change something about that feature.
That's very good. That's very good. And that's again a classical example. Every industry facing this kind of thing. Requirements comes in the last moment. And when we talk about Agile, we'll talk about value and principle. You'll see that how we fit ourselves in that. Okay, that's good. Now let's see maybe another 1 or 2 teams. So I want to go for Bravo.
Hi, this is Chinmay. Basically, I don't have any question as of now.
If you can.
Okay.
So this is the exercise I am doing, that everybody should be able to share their screen and immediately. So the practice I am trying to do. So going forward, so when we are doing this activity, people should be ready and active. So the moment I talk, so people should be quickly able to come and share, so that we can quickly do.
So are you able to see?
Not yet. Okay.
So basically here we have to add, as of now, I don't have any question. So I want to clarify one thing. So it will be in the category or it will be on the all challenges I have to add?
So first thing, okay, it is not about question. So what kind of challenges or problem we are facing day to day within our work environment, within even at home or anything, right? Okay, so that has to go to all challenges. And then those items we can categorize based on, oh, these all 3 items are, or maybe environment problem. We are dealing with maybe organization. Okay, organization has this kind of problem we are facing and we are not able to, that impedes our delivery, right? So those we can category, put the name. So that's fine. Let's move to other team. So anyone wants to volunteer who has good challenge want to say?
I can volunteer from Team India.
Okay.
I'll share my screen. Can everyone see?
Not yet.
Must be loading. Can everyone see now?
It's coming, yeah.
Okay, so we're from Team India. Just a little bit of our group. We had a pretty diverse group. So people from different stages of their career, 3 people who are like kind of in college, different stages, then 2 very experienced. So very nice to have a diverse group. Now going on to our problems and challenges, essentially we broke our challenges into 3 groups: communication, attitude, and growth opportunities. So I think our big focus is attitude, clearly, because there's 3 tickets made under there. So really understanding the culture of whatever organization or company you're working for, making adjustments, and then aligning yourself to the company's missions, values, adjusting to peers and coworkers was kind of a big challenge that we saw overall throughout our group, whether it be in a school setting or a company setting. And then communication seemed to be a central theme throughout all of the different stages in our lives.
Okay, very good. Very good. Let's move to The last one, anyone? So
Yeah, so this is asking from the team. I can start sharing what we discussed as a team.
sorry, there are a lot of noise. Okay, that's
Yeah, a
fine.
lot of echo, I believe. Yeah.
I see my screen.
Yes.
So we had 6 challenges and we prioritized the challenges, and out of that we have taken the first challenge as development process, visibility for all stakeholders, and then we came up with a solution like what is the action item we need to do to fix the problem. So we say resolved. Then we discussed few more challenges, and then we say okay, this is not resolved, so we need to kind of take it further. And then we're doing discussion in progress. So we categorize 3 different things, and then we were trying to resolve those things.
Okay, that's good, very good. So one thing I want to give a note and thank you this team, especially they took the challenge and they basically discuss about how to resolve or what are the possible solutions. So that's the next step, what in fact I am supposed to discuss. So that's good. Kudos to this team.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, Bravo group, Bravo team. I worked with Chimnia, and we talked about 2 things: the business processes not fully followed by the team in the office, and secondly is the clarity of business strategy. Not the strategy is not being so clear to people that are implementing the strategy. As a result, outcome is quite very poor. So these are the 2 challenges we discussed while we went to our room. But unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know, I didn't get to see where we could post it and all that. So that wasn't, we couldn't, put it down somewhere. But however, we discussed, and that's Bravo team.
Okay, that's very
Yeah.
good. Very good. So thank you for that one. So slowly we'll understand how to handle this technology. Technology is not a big thing, right? So everybody will get used to it. Not a problem. So now we have time is 1:36. Okay. Which team want?
No. I just wanted to add a point that I think Team Delta has written not in their board. It's on the global, the main problem and challenges board. It's not in their team board. So probably they need to move their chits to their team board.
No, exactly. I noticed that one, but that's not a big deal right now. So they can definitely move afterwards. But thank you for that note. Okay, so right now it is 1:36. We have about 9 minutes. With the essence of time, I want to see that if anyone has entered anything in the parking lot. So let's talk about the parking lot quickly. So for today, mostly there is no time to go over agile stuff, but at least we are in a position to understand that why we need to learn agile and how we are basically handling with the breakout room and what are the challenges also within the team. And definitely you guys must have good interaction within your team members, and that is something we need to understand, right? When we form a team, right, how it goes through, like what are the phases a team goes through. So quickly I'll talk about that one. So when you introduce yourself, you must have a little bit challenge understanding each one, right? Because everybody is coming from different background, and a lot of diversity is there, right? So what happens when teams work together, right? The first thing when they form, um, the moment they are formed, it goes through the storming phase. So it goes through 4 phases. One is forming, storming, norming, and confirming, right? So when the team is formed, then it goes to the storming phase where people having different background, they will be basically coming off with their own ideas, and they are people who will be going through the storming phase. They will have a lot of challenge because of that one, right? So since we are in the remote working session and we have set up in a way, the challenges will not be there, or the storming phase mostly will not be there. But in the real environment, when people are in the work, you will see that when a team is formed, new team, then they will go through the forming, storming, norming, and confirming phase. So storming will be there. Then people will find out how best they can navigate to come out from the storming to the norming phase, where basically people understand each other, their backgrounds, and how each one is giving respect to each other and building trust, and then how they are helping each other to towards the common goal, right? So that is the norming phase. Once they are in norming phase, they understand what is their goal and what they need to do. So then they start performing and confirming. So they conform to the necessity, right? So those things. So I'm telling this of the presentation because of the time right now. I don't need to go to the presentation at this point. So let me go to the parking lot quickly. So let me share my screen and go to Trello board. Something happened here on the global training program. The parking lot is not there. Yeah, something happened. Okay, that's fine. I think somebody might have by mistake deleted the parking lot. It was there. Okay, that's fine. So this is a perfect example how things happens in the real world, right? So so parking lot is not there, but anybody having any question, then I can go to that board and see those. So let me go to alpha parking lot. No question. Any team knows if they have put parking lot question?
This will Golf team put it, but that's disregard because we don't think that's a parking lot question.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear.
So disregard that, yeah.
Maybe people can ask questions in the chat, and then you can just focus on answering those questions.
Yeah, right now, yes, we have few minutes. We can definitely. I was thinking if somebody has already put. Okay, okay, go ahead and put on the chat. We can.
Okay, Vishnu, I'm not sure if this is not an exact question, but one of our team members just informed me that he might not be available for all the 12 sessions, and he is assigned the Scrum Master of the team. So maybe we'll have to restructure the team and assign some different Scrum Master for the team.
Okay, no, that's a very good thing, right? And this is a perfect example how things happens within the team, right? So anywhere you go, any organization you go, the roles and responsibility are very flexible, right? Not rigid. If they are rigid, they are basically traditional way of doing things, right? Okay, they are not flexible, right? So Scrum Master is not there. Today Scrum Master is not there. Product owner is not there. So am I going to stop my work? No, right? So what's the bottom line here? That okay, one person says that okay, I'm not going to be there, right? So immediately the team. So team, when you think of team, team basically thinks how we can basically get around, right? So find out the best person. Okay, maybe you'll say okay, let me do the Scrum Master role. What's the big deal, right? So that way, so if the person is not there, they immediately find another person, let the person be Scrum Master, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I have a lot of question here. So okay, from Bina. Okay, so yeah, so is there any question? I don't see any question. These are just note.
Vishnu, I can speak.
Yeah.
I had a problem because I was in Team Juliet. I could able to put my question, but I did not see it back. I don't know what happened. So I did to the leftmost board, and then I clicked right click and moved it to the board one. But I don't see it afterwards, so I don't know what happened.
Okay.
We have to save it, then it will be or something like that.
No, not that way. So it should be there. See, there are so many people, right? So many things happening. So I really cannot answer what happened. Somebody might have by mistake or maybe trying to test what is going on. Maybe put it to archive. So if it is deleted, it will be there in the archive. So you can research little bit, find out. So if you basically click that one, the edit button, you will find out archive. So you can find whether it is. So on the Trello, I am not also very good at Trello. I am trying to learn also.
Okay,
so you'll be
I'll
able
check.
to find if something is deleted.
Sure, thanks.
Okay. So this is 1:45. This is exactly 2 hours done here. I want to take a moment to thank everyone for joining this call. This is definitely good. I felt much better than last session. Last session we had little bit hiccups, but I think this time we did good. And I would like everyone to join a little bit promptly on time so that we can start the session quickly. Plus, you will not be able to basically lose anything that is discussed here. So I would appreciate that. Okay, basically promptly come and join. Be committed. Basically, the thing is what I want to convey is be committed to this one so that you will get the full value out of it. Otherwise, there will be a lot of disconnect, and you will see that what is discussed, you will be asking the same question again and again. So again, thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow at same time, and then next week I will be needing someone volunteering because Susrita will not be available. She has a plan, and I want to see that if you are willing to volunteer to do some of the coordination activity, please let me know so that I can set up the time with you and talk about what is needed. So that would be great for me.
Vishnu, this is Arvind. Before we leave, I would like to thank Shishrita a big thank for her support today. It was really very helpful for her input and helping the team, and also thanks to you. Needless to say that. Thanks to you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu, and thank you, Susrita.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Vishnu. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Veena. See you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to everyone for joining this week.